She looked at him with tired eyes, but a soft voice. "But I think that if you stay with me, then it will happen," she said, as if making a promise more to herself than to him. Silence filled the space, one of those silences that wraps around you like fog. Then, she whispered, "It happened. I just need to let it settle inside me." The words lingered in the air like a wound that hadn't yet healed. Later, she asked a burning question. "If I told you, I don't mind if you sleep with other girls, what would you do?" She looked into his eyes, but the answer didn't come in words. It was in the hesitation that followed. He tried to explain. "I look at her when she talks, but she's not the kind of girl I—" He stopped. The truth was too hard to finish. Her voice dropped into something darker, more exposed. "And he goes and, like, just puts his hand between my legs." She paused, then continued, "There, he might press me against the wall, lift my dress, and—" She couldn't say more. The memory spoke for itself. Then, that same confession returned. "And he goes and, like, just puts his hand between my legs." Her voice trembled. "There, he might press me against the wall, lift my dress, and—" It sounded like a scratched record of pain and desire. He tried to rationalize. "Like, I don't know if she's my type. She just seems—" His words floated like a paper boat on a stormy sea. But then, a shift. She smiled faintly and said, "One day, the uncomfortable feelings go away, and what's left is just pleasure." After all the discoveries, Hana and Peter finally seem to have found a fragile balance between freedom and love. But the human heart is more unstable than any rational pact. One afternoon, as the sun set behind the apartment windows, Peter watched Hana in silence. She smiled, distracted, typing on her phone. Peter felt a tightness in his chest. It wasn't jealousy, nor doubt. It was the fear of losing her to that new world they had opened together. A world where everything seemed allowed, except falling in love again with the same person. That night, they went out to dinner with the couple they had met months earlier, the ones who introduced them to a more daring lifestyle. But the laughter at the table couldn't hide the small cracks that had started to show between Hana and Peter. At home, after the wine and the whispered words into someone else's ear, Peter confronted Hana, not with anger, but with a quiet sadness. "Are you still mine?" She hesitated. Her silence said more than any answer. Days passed. Hana dived into new encounters, new experiences, but deep down, she missed the connection she once had with Peter. She realized that freedom without purpose becomes loneliness. In a moment of pure honesty, she came back home, her hair wet from the rain, her gaze tired. She found Peter reading on the couch, like in the old days. "Did I go too far?" she asked. Peter slowly closed the book. "Maybe. But the question is, do you want to come back?" They looked at each other. Neither of them had all the answers. But love, when honest, always finds a new way to begin. And in that moment, even with all the wounds, they decided to try again. Not with promises, but with presence. The film ends with the two walking hand in hand, in silence. Words were no longer so important. They had lost each other, and somehow they had found each other again.